Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the December update for the house that the students built. Going to be a short one now because we've had a slow November due to visitations and what have you since the last update, but we've still got quite a lot done, and we're rolling right along. The siding is complete now, with the exception of the back beam being wrapped, which we have to wait to put the post under to support that beam in the back, and he's coming back to knock that out. The veneer is coming along very nicely. In the back of the house, we only have about 6 courses left to do, and the back will be done, and we're going to move to the piers for the deck, and then the front steps. The front steps are prepped and set up. We're going to get some additional materials off the site over near the Oak at Highland Springs that was left over when they made the move from the Oak to the new tech center. That was donated by Masonomics, I believe, and we used a lot of that material already here in the down below where the steps are going to be and in around the base of the foundation, but there's still some more that needs to be removed from site, and we'll make good use of it. And what we don't use here, we can make good use of over on House 21. So that has actually saved us quite a bit of money on masonry materials. In the last video, we talked about the permit being changed, amended to reflect the new roof that we're going to be putting on this home. A quick update on that, it is done. It's been issued, so we're ready to roll. Been in contact with Scott Valentine, and they're going to be coming out at their earliest availability to begin the excavations on this. I've already been in contact with Trey Holt from Superior Walls, and we're going to, he's going to come back out at the point the excavation is made. We're going to double check all the elevations and the ledges for the brick on the Superior Wall ledges on the walls, so we're not just wasting money putting brick where they don't need to be. We can maximize that material usage. So yeah, so we're ready to roll now. So just a question of getting them on site and getting them digging holes. As I said before, the siding is complete, and I think if you'll look, you'll notice the colors really turned out very nice. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. The board and batten, I was thinking when initially it had a little more gray to it, but I actually like that. I feel like it's got a little more of a brown hue to it, which I like a lot more because there's a little more brown in the brick. And then the sanded brick have that light sand coating on them, and that really goes well with the Monterey sand, which is what the name of the color for the clapboard siding is. So the three kind of really draw each other in. I think it looks really nice. Got a lot of compliments from the neighbors on that. Really happy with the way it turned out. Mr. Klein suggested that instead of putting the floodlights in the soffit, that we put them actually on the side of beside the window, so the homeowner, when they wanted to either change bulbs or adjust them, they could simply lower the upper window and get on a small stool and reach out and do that, a convenience for the homeowner. We've also, if you look, it's kind of tough to see from this angle, but we've got a wire coming out in a box, electrical box on that front corner near the driveway. That was in anticipation of the current trend of people. A lot of people are getting electric cars and so forth, so we wanted to make sure we had an access point for them to charge their electric car conveniently. So that's going to be neat. Right now I'm not real familiar with what type of plug and all that kind of stuff. We're kind of looking into that, but I think what we're going to do is blank it out, just put a blank cover, and then whoever buys it, they may want to make it an outdoor outlet, or they may want to put in some type of charging outlet for an electric vehicle. So that's going to be kind of cool. In the last video, the roll lock was not complete. That's been done. We brought it up, and we have poured the slab for the front porch. So this section is complete. Inevitably, we're going to remove this. This was the old ramp that came up for delivery of the windows, doors, things like that. But this will be gone probably within a week or shortly after Thanksgiving, so that we can begin to bring the steps up. We do have to bring the grade up quite a bit here. You can see the grade on that side of the house is going to be very similar to the grade on this side, and that's because of the amount of working space we have on the landing for the steps that we came off the footer with. We have 88 inches, and you have a 11-inch run on the steps, so we have exactly 8 steps, and that's what the plans were showing anyhow. So we have to bring it up about 26 inches here, so that's where some of those materials from over at the Oak are going to come into hand, because they're going to be below grade anyhow. So we're going to use up some of the stuff we've got over there to get that done. And we will be placing the dirt here because obviously we can't, while the steps aren't done, we can't put it on, but while Valentine is here, I'm gonna have them move it probably along the driveway here so that when we go to grade, we'll have access to it. And then we probably will end up, we're gonna have to bring in some additional topsoil. There's a lot of stone in this soil, some of the spoils from our excavations because of the nature of this, the geography of this site, you know, the Staples Mill Pond, and with the indicative of once was a river back in the Triassic period or whatever, because there's just a lot of river rock in everything that comes out of this site. So yeah, this was underwater at one time, and probably megalodon sharks feeding on other things swimming around. So the back veneer, like I said, we're about 6-7 courses from being completed on the back brick veneer. Then they can move over to the piers for the deck, and these actually go all the way down to the original grade level where the compacted stone was. So we poured our footings for these piers, our concrete footings, directly on that stone. That stone was the level of the entire excavation all the way around, and that's where the superior walls are sitting on. So you can see how much fill has been added here, close to, you know, looks like about 5 feet of fill on this side. So when they finish this, they can move right over here. They'll already be set up, and the materials are here. They can finish these piers, then we'll move around to the steps. We're going to put a outdoor ceiling fan, so that's going to be a nice little area if they want to have an electric smoker, or this would be a nice place for the grill out here away from the house. So maybe they could bring a TV out, cook out, grill out, watch a game, whatever. We're in the basement once again. The panel is probably 90% complete for the rough-in inspection, which we will be calling in on Monday, November 25th. And they're going to have all the electrical students here with the electrical inspectors to do a walkthrough with the students, explain to the students what it is they're looking for and what their expectations are as far as what it takes to pass the electrical rough-in inspection. And I think that we're not going to have any problems because everything looks fantastic. The carpentry was able to come out the other day and get a little work in. They did some lateral bracing on the superior walls. In speaking with Trey Holt from Superior Walls, he believed it was not necessary based on the specifications they provided us, but I decided that we were going to do it anyhow because it just, you know, gives us that extra vote of confidence that we're not going to have any lateral pressure from the fill on the outside on those walls. Helps just brace it off really well. And so, yeah, and it got the carpentry guys out here a little opportunity to come out. They were really excited, looking forward to starting the sheetrock phase. After the rough-in, I've already been in contact with John Humphrey from Lehman Brothers. The installation will be going in the week of Thanksgiving, and then we'll be able to begin sheetrock. American Applicators come in hopefully the following week and get some ceilings in, and then the students can start on the walls running the sheetrock. Okay, on a side note, when we were outside, I should have mentioned it when we were outside, but the gutters are also designed and going to be installed the week following Thanksgiving as well. I'm hoping that some more of these leaves will fall so that we don't have a problem with cleaning out gutters in addition to other work that we've created for ourselves. And also the company we're going to go with addressed some of the concerns we had with the way the water was coming off of these large valleys. It made it very, it's tough on a gutter guy to make sure to divert all that water correctly and get it where it's not just flying off the house like Niagara Falls. So, but we got it under control. I'm really confident in meeting with him and his design ideas and how to make that work. So here we are once again in the upstairs of the house. Like I say, we're calling in the rough-in for Monday. We're going to have final cleanup, of course, this week in preparation for that, and go around and mark all of the stud locations on the floor. So when we come back to do our baseboard and our trim and our drywall, all that we won't have to pull measurements. Everything will be clearly marked on the floor where all the stud locations, all the metal plate locations are. So when we are nailing our baseboard and stuff. We're not shooting nails into steel plates, breaking the pistons into guns and so forth and so on. So, or even if the kids are hand driving it, we'll probably do a little hand driving in some locations and a little gun action in other locations to install the trim. Mr. Klein has shared with me that when we call in the rough-in inspection for Monday, I'm also going to call in a service inspection. They're going to install, he shared with Larry Red that we're going to have an outlet in the utility room or the utility closet, and we'll have an outlet downstairs as well. So we should be live, and the HVAC unit is wired as well as a part of this all the work that the electrical students have been doing. So I can reach out to Noel Jeanette and get the outdoor unit set, so when we begin our drywall, we'll have some type of climate control to help with, you know, the curing of the mud and so forth, and it won't be impacted by humidity changes and hot and cold temperature changes. So yeah, a lot happening all at once. That's all we've got for this month's update on the house the kids built, and want to thank everyone again on the foundation for all they do. Want to, you know, just reiterate, if anyone has any concerns or questions, please reach out to me, 804-929-6329. Also want to wish everyone a wonderful holidays. Enjoy Christmas, enjoy your families, and just happy holidays.